Houston, we've got a problem.
Train, 16 coaches long.
Now you see why. Where I left you there, I kind of had all the wiring done, and what I did was I ran the old DC system to this thing to make sure everything's running. I took the old Santa Fe apart and cleaned all the wheels and everything, and cleaned all the grime off the wheels and any hair and whatever else was in there. Cleaned all that up to make sure the engine ran as good as it can. I also wanted to make sure that I could find out if the track was working right. So I took the cars and I bought these. I bought a couple packs of these Walters Proto Accessories 33-inch wheel sets, metal ones, and these things look awesome. And I thought I would replace all the tires, all the wheels on all these things here. And I did learn something here, that the Bachmans have a whole different little gizmo wheel thing here that works much better than this Tyco. Now I know why I paid $3 for these Tyco ones. They just suck, basically. None of these wheel sets will work on here. And I'm again, if you're looking for advice from me, I don't know. I can't get these wheels, these new wheels here, to work on there. Apparently it's going to take something special, but they did work on the Bachman ones and they work fine. So I am starting at a point where I know it's not the wheels. I was having a lot of derail problems on these, a lot of the cars, because, and I come to find out when I started digging into it, a lot of these plastic wheels were damaged, warped, and misshapen, and they're just giving me some problems. So they were a problem. Now I got these metal wheels. That should take care of all that. And then let's do a run on the train. And this is to try the track out and to make sure everything's still working on the track. This is under DC system. And I'm going to run it at a little bit faster speed. It appears to run fine around this whole track. And I made it do that 100 times probably. It just keeps going, won't stop. So, and then I added three of my cars on here that I know had good wheel sets on them, and just to see if it was going to work. Other than the old Santa Fe, they're slipping a bunch because the traction tires are dry rotted. It seems to do okay. It struggles up that hill a little bit, but that's the incline. And I did run that around quite a few times, and I didn't have any problems with that. I love this car right here. Let me tell you why. It's messed up, but it wiggles and wobbles a lot. And it's showing me if I have any problems with the track. So I don't even know where I think I bought that at the $3 store too. So, but the thing's got a lot of wobble to it that it's just kind of wiggly, but it's showing me where I may have some track issues at. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hook the DC system up, and we're going to run that locomotive. Okay, the ESU system, I plugged it in. And let's turn this Android on. Okay, first of all, in the top corner here, it shows that there's no internet. This thing has its own internet system, so I'm going to go to System here, Wi-Fi, and it's the ESU Wi-Fi. Connect. Hit the back arrow. And I'm going to hit home. The internet is now hooked up, but it has no internet access, but I just want the two things to talk. Down here in the bottom corner is a little blue train. I'm going to touch it, and it comes up with my Light Pacific, which is the one I had set up in here. Let's see. See the little red light there? Again, I'm not your expert of this. The little red light there shows that this controller is not on. So I'll hit it green. Okay, there she goes. So she's a working. And with a little turn of the dial here, let's go around there. That's a speed step of 3. So I'm not running it too fast. It's not liking that portion of the track. And when it hits about where that red dot is, it's not ever went past there without derailing. However, that time, it did. So that's a good thing. It has been derailing there at that red dot. That's the reason I got that red dot there. My other spot that's bad is I had to remove the bridge because that train will not go across that bridge without hitting the sides. So there's got to be a modification. It's never made it around this corner without derailing. Let's try a little faster. That's speed step 11. How about a little horn? A bell? She's still not liking that spot much. Now, let's see if it makes it around here. Now at 11, let's see if she gets around this corner this time. I'll be... And there's the light coming on. Bring it to stop. Okay, the whole purpose of this video was to show you that I was having a problem with this engine making it around this track. I had two basic areas that this thing would not make it around this turn. I was thinking I had some 18-inch radius turn issues with that particular engine. And the reason I bought this engine is a 464, I think it is. And it says it would work on an 18-inch radius track, and that's what this supposedly is. And I didn't, he wanted a big boy, but the big boy definitely wouldn't run around here. So I tried to get a smaller one, but not too small. I wanted it to kind of look like, give him the big boy look. Okay, final product underneath electrical. I ordered some electrical bus bars. And they have plastic covers where I can pull them off. I can get to the wires if I need to, but it's protected underneath here. And if somebody gets underneath there, can't short them out. And that's all finished up underneath here. And the other side is the controller and the power pack for that. Just take it up on the shelf. As I was finishing up on the track here, I noticed that my engine, every time that new steam engine would run past this cinder area right here, it kind of chugged a little bit. So I don't know, I guess that means I may have some power issues right here. And if you look at the entrance or exit of the tunnel over there, there's a drop there. And it covers here and it doesn't have an issue here. But as soon as it crosses over into this area right here and here, it seemed to have an issue for some reason. So what I'm going to do is I've already drilled down through and I've already put two new wires in. And I will wire those in eventually. I'm not in a real big hurry to do that. I've run them down to here. And I just need to find one of my mains to splice it on. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hook it straight into the bus bar and try it out, see if that works. And then maybe get something a little more permanent at a later date. This part of the track here, if you look where it's at, this is where the incline comes down and it ends and goes to flat. So this is the end of your incline. And it also is the exact area where there's a connector putting the track together. And it's, I listen to this guy online and says, oh, half the fun of doing trains is working out all the problems. Now, this is no fun. The rail itself is clean. There's nothing wrong with the rail all the way through here. But the train, if you take a look at what happens to this, I got a socket here. This is downhill, and then from here, it's not downhill. But here, it's downhill. But here, it's not. So we're talking about, there's a pretty good dip right in here. If you put a level across there, you'd see the little dip. Also, something else that happens, if you watch this come down the track, when it hits that dip, it actually will go from level to tilted this way. That's dramatic, but you can see it. It actually tilts and it starts running off the track this way. This is what I was talking about, the reverse NASCAR turn. You never bank your turn to that way because it just makes you want to go off. I'm thinking that is what my problem is now. I don't know where I went wrong. I just put the track down on top of the foam and kind of went. Maybe I should have been looking at that when if I knew, I'd probably been looking at that when I put the track down and tested it. The train I was testing it with, it worked really well, but after I dug into that little train, that thing has some super big weights in it, and that's what's keeping that thing on the track, and anything else you may have issues with. Again, there it is, and it just wants to run off the track this way, and that's what's happening, or that's what was happening. Now, I did not fix that. Now the train's running fine. I don't know why. Now, to this other area that was giving me trouble, it's the same thing. Right here's the end of the incline, right in here, and if you look, it comes down, but if you look, it actually is straight here, and then as it goes around this curve, it's actually, and you got to play with this a lot to get it, it's actually tilted this way. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that. We're going to play with it some more. I just wanted to show you those two problem areas. Probably just keep an eye when you go put your track, any of these corners, just make sure that the track is actually level, flat, or actually like a NASCAR, put a little bit of a turn into it. I'm at this point, I'm thinking maybe I have to shim between the top of the incline and maybe try to put some shims in just right underneath the foam here. That may be what I try and see if that helps. On this side, it's going to be a little bit more different because I'm actually going to have to cut holes into the side here to get the shims in here to even test them out. So that'll be a little bit of fun if I even try it. The train seems to be working fine now, but you know, that's not correct. There's no way that a train track would ever be tilted the opposite direction of the turn. There's just no way. So that's an issue. Keep an eye out for that when you go to put your track together. I'm gonna move on. Finally got this thing to work all the way around. Let's check it out. Okay, now what I had to do to get it to do it so far, this track has a lot of dipsy doodles in it. I say that, a lot of where the track connectors are, I could see a lot of areas that are raised up and down. This car right here only works back here. If it's anywhere else in the consist, using in big terms, if it's anywhere else in this line, it comes unhooked because of the couplers, because the track in a couple of areas, like right over here, there's a dip before the bridge. There's a dip coming off of this incline, and there's a dip here. And this car, when this car goes onto the high area and this one's left on the low, the couplers come undone. So my fix right now is I'm not going to worry about it. I'll look for some information from you guys on how to fix that. But I think for right now, we're gonna go with what we got for now.